blah, 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 blah.
Well, that's about
Blah, blah, blah.
I was one blah,
blah, blah.
for it, my bad signal.
Blah, blah, blah.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, pretty much everything.
I want to do something.
Well, we're already doing it.
Is that something related to this episode that's fulfilling the premise of the cold open?
That's right. What the
They say if you can't beat them, join them. And if you can't join them because the membership costs are prohibitive, maybe squirrel away some money for a little bit. And in the meantime, join the newsletter. Sign up for email updates. Learn a little bit about the club that you'd like to join. And then by the time you have the money to join, they'll be really happy to have so informed of a member. This is the Grawlix Saves the World. My name's Adam Caton Holland.
My name is Ben Roy.
And I'm Andrew Orvidal.
And this is the podcast where we better the world around us by bettering ourselves through various challenges. And I really have no idea what we have in store today. I just don't.
Well, I can see Andrew over there smirking, and it appears that he has a challenge for us.
I have my trademark smirk. Don't
The smirk also comes with a mince. He minces and he smirks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's a mincy smirker. We've said that for a while.
He's a smirky mincer.
Mincing and smirking my way over to the desk.
Yes, he lives in, he lives in Smirk Estates in Rift City. That's
yeah.
Yeah, there's a very
Subdivision.
odd pride on his face when he has something to say. When
He's
ready
got
to
a
bring
little challenge brewing.
All right. Well, what kind of chow you going to put in our bowls today there?
Come, well, gather around, little dogs.
Don't ever do that again.
That's
Producer
what.
Ron, please put in a dinner bell clanging. Andrew's
then-
clanging the bell for all his dogs to come running for the chow.
And then a big bag of kibble being poured into one big metal bowl that you two just gobble at them side by side.
And our untrimmed long claws scraping on the wood floors. As we clamor to get over there.
Just put all that in post, Producer Ron, and we'll be good to go.
All right.
Thank you. The listener will appreciate the audio journey you're taking them on. Ron, our sound painter. I do have a challenge. I have a challenge. This one came up rather organically. I was riding in the car with my kiddo, who happens to be a 14-year-old teen. We were listening to some baseball on the radio because I am a cruel dad who inflicts...
I'm sure that's what they love
the most
listening to.
dad thing ever.
Yeah.
Yep, we're listening to the game.
It's either radio baseball or death metal. Those are the choices.
Hold on, I'm struggling to get the Diamondbacks feed in from Phoenix.
And I do. I like listening to all the radio teams. I'm just kind of fascinated.
The radio teams, he says, Adam.
Yeah.
He loves to listen to all the radio teams.
All of the broadcasting teams and see which ones are great and which ones are not so great.
And
anyway,
maybe we'll get to that some other time.
That's neither here nor there. That's not part of the challenge. There was an ad that came up for fostering a teen, and it had a slang dictionary. It was like, how to get to know your teen. And for this challenge, we will each be fostering one teenager
Holy
for the rest of our lives.
I don't have the time. I don't have the time. You know, I already do all the edibles myself, and I can't have a
Ben,
kid
I didn't know how to break this to you. You probably weren't going to get accepted anyway.
Good.
Renting a basement in your situation, they're not going to give you a teen. They don't give you a teen.
Can I just stop this for 1 minute? You were listening to baseball on the radio, and an ad came up for fostering a teen?
Yeah, they know who's got an empty room in their house. Guys that are listening to fucking radio baseball.
I just never heard of these ads, but all right, fair enough.
Oh, right. I get these fostering a teen ads all the time. Maybe I'm being targeted. I don't know. I definitely don't want another teen, so you can stop targeting me with those ads. So this ad was like a slang vocabulary explainer to get to know your foster teen. And it was like jelly. It means jealous. Like, I'm so jelly that that you got those new shoes. And my kid was like, what? What are they talking about? I've never heard that word in my life. Jelly? And I was like, oh, I think I've heard people use that, maybe. And so for this challenge, I realized I was like, I don't know what any Gen Z slang means.
Oh, no, yeah, because it's crap.
At all. So for this challenge, we're going to go out into the world.
No.
We're going to find, yes, we're going to find.
Adam doesn't like it when we go out into the world.
We're going to find some Gen Z slang. We're going to figure out what it fucking
find
means.
Gen Z slang.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like Pokemon.
So you can go down to Colfax in York where the teens are smoking on break at East High School and get hip, dude.
You don't think I'm there most of the time anyway?
Katie, looks like we're all out of lug nuts again.
You guys want to read the humor edition of the newspaper from 1997? I crushed it this year.
Just reliving your glorious. Are you like a teacher, dude? No, I'm not.
I mean, I am sort of like a figure one could look up to. Yes.
A mentor, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go out in the world. We're going to find some of the slang. We're going to figure out what the F it means. And we're going to report back to not only to each other, but to our listeners. I think
to a generation,
yes.
a generation of teens that we've been missing in this podcast because of our antiquated speak. Is that what you're saying?
That could be it. I was more thinking for our fellow Gen Xers.
So when we come back, too, should we be trying to use this stuff in the second half?
Oh yeah, if you've mastered it, why not?
Dude, no
why
question.
not?
Can I say a few things?
No,
this is not the platform for saying things. This is not.
You minced and you smirked. And I feel you did not earn a mince or a smirk with this challenge. What a bad challenge. What a silly challenge.
Ooh,
what a useless chow.
Wow.
You haven't even done it yet, and you're already naysaying it? Listen to yourself.
There's nothing lamer than dads, which we are, trying to speak in the manner of their children. That is like a tropey, hacky thing. I remember my dad trying to embrace slang that I was using and my friends were using in high school. And it was like my dad driving carpool, and it was an era in which we were just prodigiously using bomb. That shit's the bomb. That's bomb.com. Bomb. And my dad, I don't know if he was fucking with us or he didn't hear it right, but he heard it as bong, like a thing that you smoke weed out of. So he'd be like, "Oh, guys, is this car the bong? What do you guys? You guys having a bong morning?" And I'd be like, "Shut up! Like, stop it!"
Your dad had to have been doing that
genuinely
to screw with you. No,
I think he was being genuine.
Yeah,
but either way, I was just like, "Just stop! Just be a grown up and talk grown up speak. This is for us." Don't come here. This is our time down here.
Yeah.
Well, I love this challenge. I have an 18-year-old son. I know quite a bit of these, and honestly, I gotta be real with you, fam. This challenge got me shook.
Oh shit!
Ready.
Look, Ben's already easing into it like a pair of old slippers.
I'm ready
to
Adam,
the challenge is not for us to become dads who use slang. The challenge is for us to better understand the slang that's being said to us and around us. I'd like to know.
He's sus. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This Adam cat. This guy is sus.
Okay, you're already on board.
Wait.
Yeah,
this is like low tier, like UPN sitcom 1998 writing. Like, have the old guy say the current word. It's so
everyone
bad.
loves UPN, dude. Everyone loves it.
I think people will like it. Challenge accepted, Andrew. I am ready for this because this is right up my alley. And
sounds like you've got a head start on it, Ben.
Yeah.
And this was also kind of inspired because you said sus twice in the last episode, and both times I really noticed it. So that helped. So that helped inspire.
I was watching the new
challenge.
Ninja Turtles movie with my kiddo, which rules, and the April O'Neil character, whose Ayo Edibiri voices said sus, and I didn't know what it meant, but then I was like, it means suspect. Got it. No part of me thought, I should be saying this.
Well,
no part of me.
Well, it's fun to say, so
You
you're
are.
missing out. Listen to Ben. He's saying it all the time.
Of this episode to me is in the second act. Who can just naturally incorporate this dog shit into their speaks?
Of course, that's your subject.
Yeah, you'll
I'm
get
gonna
bonus
fucking
points. You'll get bonus
dominate
points.
this. Dominate. All right, y'all. Well, then we got our challenge. Send it. We're gonna
Oh, my God.
we're gonna do it. We're gonna come back after. Adam looks great. We're gonna after the. So we got our challenge. We're gonna learn about Gen Z slang. We're gonna try to use it a little bit. Next, we're gonna talk about what it means.
Maybe I'll just throw in my own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could try making some up, and we'll see if we can
horse
spot
sauce.
it. Yeah.
Rewind.
No one. All right, let's
That's
not.
just like,
And then
that's
push
just
it
like
through.
90s.
Rewind and then push it through, guys. On to the second
I'm
act.
gonna let it go. Well, let's do this. Let's listen to some live stand-up.
These are
Alley-oop.
so bad.
Alley-oop.
These are so
From our live show
90s. Rewind? People will be like, what the fuck is rewinding
stop.
something?
This is from our
Send it to the vortex, bro.
from our live show that happens the last Saturday of every month at the world famous Bug Theater. Tickets are on sale now. Get them. They're in the show notes right there because the show sells out.
All right.
This gentleman was just at the live show. Honestly, one of the funniest people we know. So good. Everybody enjoy this clip from Chris Fairbanks. And when we come back,
Right on back to the top.
and then when we come back, Adam will not understand this challenge. That's for sure. Andrew and I will, and we're gonna be ready. And you know what? Let's just yeet to the next act.
Oh my God.
Find
Ben
that.
is on fire.
Stay tuned.
Well, I have a character that I do a lot of characters. A lot of you know this. I do a lot of character work, mostly for charity. You know, there's kids out there, some of them little children. They go their whole lives without seeing a good, solid character, which is why I started my charity Characters for Children and Chids. And we do a lot of important work, sure, here in town, but also up in Chicago. You guys like that? Anyway, here's a character. This is a news guy. He's a Peabody Award-winning news guy. But he's getting old and he's a little out of touch, but he always, in his reporting, used childish idioms, and people liked it up until this day when he was fired. So this is a news guy on his last day. Well, Siamese, Pekingese, dirty knees, look at these. That's right, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we're here at the Cat and Dog Show where they're raising funds to bring an end to this tale of two titties. But first, stick your finger in a hole. Now you have a Tootsie Roll. Two area youth were locked in a bathroom in Malibu. Luckily, on the adjoining other side was a man who happened to witness them through a pumpkin-sized hole in the wall. Neighbors describe the man as lives by himself and not allowed within 500 feet of schools, but today he's a hero. But milk, lemonade, round the corner fudge is made. A local chocolatier is suing Minute Maid after Giardia ended up in the water supply, affecting the plumbing, causing most of the factory workers to yell, "Ah, fudge," but not the sweet kind this time. And then at 11... We've all heard of two birds, one stone, but two stones, one bird? Mick Jagger and Keith Richards were found entwined and dead today after a rabid pigeon. And this in Just Now, I Am Fired. Okay, that was a character. It took a lot of writing. I didn't do the memorization part. It is customary at the end of a play to clap, but the only difference there is everyone loves plays.
Get out of the trenches of tedious tasks like managing order fulfillment and start growing your business with ShipStation. They'll help increase profitability by automating your workflow with their simple, easy-to-use dashboard. With it, you can pretty much do everything you need to quickly and easily. Update order information, print labels, compare rates, optimize shipments, and even set up automatic delivery notifications. And it doesn't matter where you sell. Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, ShipStation can integrate pretty much anywhere online. Another great thing about ShipStation, they can help reduce costs with industry-leading discounted rates from some of the biggest mail carriers. You might even be able to get up to 89% off USPS and UPS rates. So, make this year your most profitable one yet. Sign up for your free 30-day trial at ShipStation.com and use the code Spotify. That's ShipStation.com with the code Spotify.
And we are back for Act 2. Thanks to the magic of podcasting. Oh, what a fire sound effect. A week has transpired, and we went out into the world. See how easy that was, dude? We went out into the world. We've picked up some Gen Z slang, and we're back to report it to you, gentle listener, what these terms
Nitro.
mean. Adam, it's not even your turn yet.
No,
Stop.
it's not.
Stop.
It's not.
Nitro on the upside.
That's
the
not
upside.
a.
Adam sounds like a fucking pilled up like 60s music producer.
You believe that kids
I've
say
been out
nitro
there.
on
we all
the
weren't
upside?
hanging out with the same teens. I met different teens than
Nitro
you
on
did.
the
I picked up
upside.
different slang.
You believe that children say nitro
I met some pretty
on
cool
the
drag
upside.
racers out on I-76, and they say nitro on the upside.
That's probably
on
a
the reg
technical
regs.
term. It's probably a genuine technical term for their car.
Fam, I'm gonna say I think Adam needs a glow up for real.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I learned that one. I've learned.
Well, we'll
so
get
many.
into it.
You're
We'll
all
take
gonna
turns
fucking hate me by
presenting
the end.
what we learned. I'll go first since I brought the challenge. And I got to tell you, Adam's attitude about this whole episode, it's giving spoiled baby bitch. That's what it's giving to me. It's giving spoiled baby bitch.
Oh.
This is some Gen Z slang. It's giving blank. This is something that maybe you've heard people say or you read online. The first time I saw this online, I just thought it was like really poor grammar. I was like, oh, this person has a typo. And then I was like, oh, this other person has that same typo. And I probably saw it, I don't know, 30 times thinking it was just poorly written and a typo until I realized, no, this is something that people say. They say it's giving blank.
Bussin', no cat, for real.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
man.
Adam's face. what listeners can't
If the challenge
see.
makes Adam angry, it's already a huge success
Yeah,
for me personally.
Adam has assumed a posture that it does look parent-like. It has a
It's
parent-like
giving
quality.
Oscar the Grouch. It's giving
Yeah.
Oscar the Grouch. So this is something that I learned. You say it's giving, and then it's something that
Yeah, can we just talk about Adam's a bussy, right? This is a guy that's, and this is one of my favorites, bussy. But anyway,
Okay.
That's a bus pussy, right?
that's a boy pussy, okay? Because you acting out of pocket right now.
Oh my
All right,
gosh!
Adam?
So there's so many. So let's take a word,
Yeah.
a term at a time. So that's the first word. That's the first term I'm bringing. It's giving blank. If you hear that, that just means that it's reminiscent of something else. It's giving this, and then you'll know, like, oh, okay. So this reminds them of that. You could use it. I think it's most often used in kind of like a shade way, right? Throwing shade at someone.
Adam has a pen in the case.
He's like pushing the pen into his head, like he's like,
Yeah, and
if I can.
well, it's just above his eye.
He's hoping
jamming
to
it
kind
above
of
his
like
eye.
Joker himself and just stab this pen through his eye and put himself.
He's also periodically jotting something down. And
He's
I
jotting
don't
down
know-
these cool words so he can fucking use them. He's pretending like he hates this, but all we're doing is giving him a gold mine of cool words to use.
Ricochet on the side.
Yeah.
So that's my first one. Ben, why don't you go next? You're overflowing. You were just giving us one. Bussy. Bussy?
Yeah. That's boy pussy. But I don't want to.
Oh, yeah. Like I'm the idiot. Like I'm the idiot here. Okay.
Now, my favorite one.
What's
so
boy
far
pussy?
that-
The butt? I don't know.
What? No, it's a dude who's a pussy. It's a.
Oh, so it's using pussy like in the insulting way. Are you sure?
But not saying it. Yeah.
I don't think
I
you
went
know
down
this
a
one.
deep rabbit hole. Okay, boomer. I don't know this one. All right. You're being such a simp right now, bro. You are being simp. Don't make me clap back. All right, because I don't want to clap back at you. All right. I did a lot of work on this one. My son and I had some good conversations. Probably one of my favorite ones that I heard is Riz.
Bussy means butthole, dude. I just looked it up. You don't even know.
Yeah,
you don't even do the
pussy.
challenge. You're just spraying
It's boy
words out of your
pussy.
mouth. Bussy
Your
means
guys'
butthole.
Your guys' targeted ads are about to go through the fucking roof.
Wow. I'm dead. God,
Come
that's
on
funny.
down
I'm
to
dead.
Butthole Market. We've got them all.
You do know we've definitely lost a lot of listeners on this
Good.
one. The minute I
The
started.
listeners
And
are
we
right.
picked
The
up
listeners
so
are
many
right.
new ones. So many Gen Zers.
Hey, I got one. Maybe our listeners are now touching grass.
No,
What?
they're not. That doesn't even.
That's real. That's a real one. That means like
Anyway, okay.
Wait. If Adam is participating, let's hear him out. What does it
it's
mean?
a real one.
What does it
touch
mean?
grass. Touch grass means like go outside. It's one that gamers say to each other because they're constantly like online. And touch grass is like, you need to go touch grass, bro. It's like, get out of your fucking.
Is that
chair.
legit? Because if that's true,
legit.
that's got me shook.
I've
yo.
a legit
That's
I've heard that one. I thought it
That's
was
a
like a
legit one.
sports term for like stretching.
No, it's like you are a fucking incel in your basement. Go touch grass, dude.
Oh,
like, it's like, go outside.
Dang, that
Wow.
slaps.
Okay.
That slaps. That
Yeah.
shit's got me shook, fam.
Okay,
For real, that's
okay.
got me shook.
Ben, I gotta say, you've never sounded cool.
Yeah. Slay, fam.
And
Slay.
you didn't even look up what the words meant, Ben. You're just parrot. You're like
So
a parrot. You're like the Grolix parrot in his
No.
cage. Adam,
No,
could you bring
I
him
know what
a
these
milk
mean.
bone to crunch on? You don't even know what these
Producer
words
Ron,
mean.
milk bone crunching sound effects.
No, I mean, guys.
You know what? Ben is extra. Ben is fucking extra.
No.
And that's my next word. Extra.
No, I've been talking to my 18-year-old son. He gave me the tea, and that's what. That's.
This is really terrible.
He said you need a dose of tea. He said you have low tea and you need to go get a.
He didn't say I have low tea. No, I was getting to my favorite one so far, which is Riz. So it's like Milo was explaining, like if you got the Riz, you got charisma, right? So it's like you got Riz, right? And I like this one. I actually like this one because I am full of Riz.
You riz a lot. We've always said that. When you riz, it's a lot.
Yes, I do. People say I'm full of Riz and vinegar. And so Milo was telling me that if you use it as a pun in something, like that's the fun thing. Like, oh, that dude's smoking. He's Riz Khalifa, right? So
Sure, that's funny. I can see that. It's like we would do bro puns forever, like Broseph Stalin.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like yeah.
right, exactly. Broman Polanski.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. For your really problematic friend who had to move over to France.
Bro, that shit is valid, bro. What I'm doing is valid, bro.
That valid is just a fucking word.
Yeah.
That's a word that you just used correctly.
Valid is a piece of slang. Andrew, I don't even want to, but Adam needs a vibe check. And I don't even want
I don't even know what that means. Is that like a physical thing that we're going to do to him?
Listen, I'm clearly too old for this, and I don't want to participate. But can we talk a minute? Can we talk a minute about like British slang?
No, we can't.
No, why are we talking about British?
Because
Adam just wants to say cunt on the pod. That's all.
I want to say cunt. You were just saying Riz comes from charisma, and that's like kind of inventive, and then they do Riz Khalifa and stuff. British slang is so off the wall. They'll be just like,
Oh, you mean like
sleepy?
Cockney.
Sleepy rhymes with creepy. Johnny Depp is creepy. I'm deppin', and that means sleepy. You know what I mean? They'll do like 5 steps where it's like I don't even
Yeah, like
understand.
Cockney does that, right?
I'm Deppin? Is that true?
No, I mean I just riffed that one, but like
Oh,
they'll
okay.
do.
I was like, that's terrible.
Like they'll call things Barney, like that's Barney Rubble trouble, like that means it's troubling, and they'll call it Barney. It's like that type of 10 steps to get to it. That's fun. That's like at least a problem to solve. This is like Riz is charisma. Okay, cool.
But no,
Great
no.
one. Next.
Riz is great though because you use Riz and you try to be like, oh yeah, I got Riz all over the front of my pants because you know what I mean?
Hey, can we get a black light in here to find all the Riz that been left behind?
I'm dead, bussin', no cap. That shit's dank, yo.
So for this week, Ben spent time in front of a high school talking about the Riz on his pants.
Yeah. Adam, what was your favorite? I want to know so far.
Can I tell you guys, this challenge has got me depressed. I'm feeling pressy from this challenge.
Oh,
This is one, I know that Adam is making that up, but I can see that being real.
I'm Elvis Pressy, and I'm angsty. And I kind of wish I was like dead.
Wait, that's not slang.
That isn't slang.
Hey, wait, that's not slang.
You're just saying you wished you were dead. Oh, damn.
Fuck.
Hey,
Damn.
vibe check. I wish I was dead.
Well, he's being an e-boy for
Oh,
real.
shit.
Like an e-boy for real.
But it might just be that I'm feeling pressy. I don't know.
Big yikes, bro. Big yikes.
Oh,
And
man.
I never thought we'd get somebody as bougie as Adam coming in here. You know what I mean? Because Adam's bouge. And kind of like, but then I realized he ain't bougie, he's chuggy. Like, this is a kid that's like.
See, this is one I've also heard chuggy.
That's the new type of coffee with mushrooms you can get. It's like a chugachino.
Yeah, this is one that I've seen, but I found out from my 14-year-old high schooler. They said they've never heard it said, they've never heard it used, they've never seen it in a text. But maybe it's a regional one. But Chuchi,
yeah.
never used. Also, Ben, I hate to break it to you because I also like saying this one, but apparently sus is only said sarcastically to make fun of an old person. So while you and I have just come upon this word and started using it for fun, it's now officially old and used in a sarcastic way by actual Gen Zers.
Like I said, I'll take the L on that one, y'all. but I want to be clear. Hey, I was just sipping tea with my fam. So, I mean, I don't think it's all that sus that Adam can't push the skin up on his
Ben,
face.
I'll just say it. Ben is cringe right now. Ben is cringe. Ben is cringe.
Yeah.
That's another one, cringe. I think that's probably the most insulting one that I learned. Cringe. It just, because you know exactly what it means, and it's so reduced as an insult that if somebody were to call you that in an earnest way, you'd be like, well, I guess I have to transfer schools now.
Bet for real.
I spent some time. I didn't really want to engage in this challenge because look how foolish we look. So I actually invited my 11-year-old niece over, and I recorded our conversation, and I asked her about some of these terms.
What?
And she explained them to me. And so instead of this is how I participated. I went and I hung out with somebody from Gen Z who uses these terms. I did some research.
Amazing. Adam, huge W,
That's
dude.
a huge W,
Huge
yo.
W.
And
for
this is a
real.
person who's out there in them
I
streets.
was going to say, Adam was about to catch these hands, but now he's back on board, and that's lit, fam, for real. That's
Well, I was
lit.
tree climbing. I was leaf peeping.
I'm weak, y'all. I'm weak.
I was tree climbing, I was leaf peeping, I was out there grinding.
Well, this is great. This is exactly what the challenge was, Adam. Why did you bury the lead on this?
So here's but a snippet of my conversation with my niece. I'm not gonna share our whole conversation, but I just basically had her walk me through these terms and explain them to me so I could understand what the definitions were, make sure I knew where I was coming from. But I think the best part to play is I asked her what she thinks about guys like us, dads, using this type of slang and how she feels about it all. And I'd like to share that with the listener and with you guys.
Oh, okay. Great. Producer Ron, can you please play this? We would like to hear this.
Okay, last question. I'm the coolest person you know. And do you think it makes a 43-year-old man cool to use this type of stuff?
Never
if
use this slang.
If I walked around
Rat
saying
side.
that it's mid and you're a simp,
Don't do that, please.
why is it not cool?
Because it's not cool when someone old does it.
Plain and simple. It's not cool when someone old does it.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't be doing this challenge. This doesn't make the world a better place. To have 40-something dads walking around saying, it's giving spring vibes.
Yeah, don't say that, please.
Got it. Thanks.
Well, All right, Adam's
Okay, kiddo.
niece, if that's even your real name.
If that's a real name, because honestly, I think you hired.
Adam, did you ask her who was right about the definition of bussy, Ben or I? I mean, it's me. It's me. You didn't cover bussy?
Kind of kept that one out of the conversation.
No, I mean, for real, fam, she's salty and everything, but I'm using this correctly.
I think you're using 5% correctly.
No cat.
Okay, boomer.
Oh, my God. I tried to use it in various interactions I've had, and I had a hilarious interaction with a counter person.
Yes.
That I was ordering food, and I was using cap. Like, I think that one's kind of funny. Milo and his friends use no cap, and
I don't need, so tell us what that means. I'm again unfamiliar with no cap.
No cap means like no bullshit. It's like for real. Like that, just basically
No
like
cap.
no joke.
Okay.
Like,
see,
for
I would
real.
have thought
Like,
that it meant like no limit to how high you can go. No cap. That's what I would have guessed.
It just means it's real. It's no cap.
Means real,
So when
no
you say it's like
bullshit.
bussin', no cap, that's awesome.
And what
for
does
real.
bussin' mean? That's when you got to go clear the table so that the server can lay out a new plate. And
It's when they move children of a certain ethnicity into another neighborhood
Bussin'.
school and it's
Oh,
loaded.
right,
And I don't
right.
even think we should get into. It's a problematic thing. It's not necessary.
No, Adam, that was the bussin' of the 90s.
There's lots of articles more informative than this podcast on busing, and I
No,
just, I don't
bussin'.
think we can back
Bussin'
it.
just means like that's awesome. It's extremely good. Like
bussin' means extremely good.
so, if I say like bussin', no cap means like
Hell yeah, no
hell
bullshit.
yeah, like that's awesome. That's awesome for real.
You're pro busing in public schools.
No,
I just
I'm
think it's-
not.
Oh, I hope Ron's recording this. Just say it. Yes or no. Yes or no, Ben.
Just why you're dodging the
So
answer.
if you say cap, you're like that's bullshit, right? So I was in a restaurant and I had ordered some food, and my food came, and
You haven't set foot in a restaurant in 10 years. You were at a counter.
I was at a counter. I was ordering.
You're
food.
at a Jersey Mike's.
I was at a little deli that's placed right on Colfax by my house. I am getting food.
Thank you.
And I ordered,
Thank you.
and then the person said something about what I ordered being really good, and I said no cap. And the person behind the counter was like, "You want me to take the cap off of your kombucha?" And then I was like, no cap. Like, that's awesome. And the person gave me this look like they were very disappointed at me.
I'm not angry. I'm just so disappointed.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed. It wasn't anger. It was legitimate disappointment. And this was a person who was probably in their 20s who understands that better.
And already at the young age of their 20s has decided, oh, I'm beyond this. This is for children.
Yeah. And they looked at me as if I were basic. And yeah, it was pretty sad. And that's when I realized, as much fun as I'm having with this, I really don't think I'm going to use a lot of these.
Really? Because you
yeah.
sound
It's such a good look.
Yeah.
you sound cool and young. It's like the fountain of youth coming out of your throat.
Yes.
For real, for me, it was a big yikes moment, as the kids say. It was a moment where I was like, oh, I'm becoming more undesirable as a human being right in front of your face when I'm like, oh, bussin', you know what I
Truth,
mean? Like,
truth.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like 13, I was hanging out at the skate park, and my World War II veteran grandfather came in with on two skateboards, and he went down in the pool, and he goes, "This is hella dope," and he shattered both of his hips. And I remember thinking, it's not a good look for old
But he
people,
was
you
the
know?
goat.
He was the goat.
Oh, yeah. He was goated.
That your grandfather, he got the X-Rizze, and they saw that he had that dog inside him. And that's...
Well, they built that statue of him because he died that day. There's a statue of him at the skate park.
Did any of you, when you were growing up, I remember being in middle school and watching so much Yo MTV Raps that dope and, you know, like...
The first new slang I heard, this is embarrassing, but I'll own it, was...
I bet it was Keen.
Fuck you.
I bet it was Keen.
No, it was from
Hip?
It was from the Ninja Turtles, the fucking Ninja Turtles cartoon. Hearing the way they talked, I was like, these are new words. Cowabunga, tubular. These
Yeah,
were like-
Cowabunga opened up some new portals in my mind. That's for sure.
But
Wait, so was Andrew walking around being like, that's tubular?
yeah, I
cowabunga,
was
dudes?
trying. I was in whatever 4th, 5th grade trying to insert
Be cool.
Ninja Turtles slang.
I remember kids saying rad. That's rad.
Yeah, rad.
And I
I said
thinking,
rad all the
wanna-
time. I still use
I
rad.
want to use
I
that.
still love rad.
I remember hearing it and being like, "That's a good look. I need
Rad.
that. I'm
That's
throwing that
rad.
in."
Awesome. Cool.
Rad was like a real dank piece of slang, and
Rad has lasted till now.
But I feel like rad is kind of intensified in its meaning. Now, if you say something's rad, I feel like you mean it more than you used to.
For sure, it better be really fucking rad if you're coming at me with that.
Yeah.
Can I say something that I think is what we all have realized in our older age? Like a lot of the slang is African American vernacular. Queer culture, like slay, is directly from like RuPaul's Drag Race. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And I feel like that is awesome that that's bled into pop culture. But I also feel like now, as 40-something-year-old white dudes, we're like, oh, probably not for us. I feel like the beauty of youth is that you don't think about that. And you're like, these are just cool fucking words. I don't need to know what the origin is. I like the way they sound. And you just throw them out there and you can play with it. And that's why you can be a 16-year-old being like, that's hella dope. And you don't look that stupid.
Right.
But as like a 40-year-old, you're kind of like, oh, maybe it's not necessarily the language that was meant for me. It's like in all of my privilege. So that's why I feel like it's a stupid sort of look to wear too deep into your
100%. I think that this language is created by Black people, queer people, and then.
But it's also, I think it's bigger than that. I think there is a constant battle between the young and the old to establish themselves as different.
Yeah.
And they have their own language to differentiate that I'm not old. I'm not them. I'm with you all. I'm down here in the trenches of youth.
I think that's right. And I think that's the story of American youth is like, well, let's do what the Black people are doing because that shit's cooler, down all the way back to like blues and rock and roll.
Exactly.
Because that is the cool shit. So like that's why the youth are trying to disassociate from the old, using the cool shit, which is a lot of the time Black culture.
Yeah, or queer culture, like you're saying.
100%.
It is kind of cool, and I don't know, this is just sort of stretching, but it is kind of cool to think about how far we've come that queer culture is now a database to pull from for kids to sound
Slay,
cool.
queen,
I think that's sort of-
slay.
I think that
Yes.
says a lot
No,
about
it's true.
society's acceptance of queer culture. I think that's fucking great that's kind of become accepted like that. I think that's noteworthy.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, though, are there any words that you heard that you think you will use that you do like? Because, like, I know kids have taken from, rad. You do hear some people say gnarly, things like that. That are still
Gnarly.
relevant, but was there any that you heard that you'll use?
The only, and I was already saying it, was sus because it's fun to say. And I started saying it as a joke, and then it creeped in like mold under the floorboards. And I was like, it's fun to say, and I'll just kind of say it from time to time, was sus. But now I know that it's not even a thing. Now people say it sarcastically. So I'm just showing my own ass saying sus. So I have to stop. That was the only one.
Right. What about you, Adam?
I'll use fune. I'll definitely continue to use fune.
Fune? What does fune mean?
Oh, it means I wish I was at my funeral right now.
Okay, Adam.
You fune, dude? Adam seems fune right now.
So yeah, I'm fune.
There's a couple I actually like. I think drip is a great term for when somebody is fucking dressed to
Oh, I
the,
hate
like,
that
damn,
one. Man.
I think it's fucking funny.
That might be my least favorite of all the Gen
I
Z
think
slang.
drip is awesome. Dang, look at that drip,
I
dude.
don't
like it. The other one I like is when a song is awesome, being like, that's a bop. I like that. To me, like, feels timeless.
That's a
Yeah.
bop.
Yeah, a bop. Like if you say that.
I've heard
That
that.
sounds like
And-
it's coming back from the 1930s or something.
Exactly. I think that is pretty great. I like that slaps.
Yeah, I'll say that's a nifty little ditty if I hear something that's kind of catchy.
Yeah, that's Not
Adam.
modern slang, but
Oh, yeah, Adam.
You know, it's one that people say that I don't mind, and this is for real. Like, I'm never going to say it, but I like when people say, what is it? Like, you can catch hands? You can catch these hands?
Yeah.
That makes me laugh every time I hear it, because it's like, what a weird way to describe getting your ass beat. Like, catch these hands, dude. Like,
The other one that
it makes me laugh.
It's that always makes me laugh too, largely because Andrew and I send an exorbitant number of videos of people getting hurt.
maimed.
Yeah, you guys have like a Faces of Death private chat going
It's
on.
getting out of control. I'm like, this person's probably still alive. Send.
Yeah, full send or send it kills me when they go, oh, full send, and it's just somebody giving their 110% before they really fucking hurt themselves and yeet themselves into the ground. Yeet is also
Oh, I hate
kind of,
yeet too. What does yeet mean?
What is yeet?
Define yeet for us, Ben.
it's like to throw or to chuck something. Like if you yeet something, you chuck it.
Really?
Like throw it hard. Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
look
like
this one up. You're sus, dude.
Did you yeet your 42 mile per hour baseball when we did the baseball challenge? Was that yeeting?
No, I did not yeet it.
To throw something with a lot of force. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you
Yeeted
like
it.
you yeet it.
You yeet
yeah,
it.
like
Huh.
so we'll yeet this challenge in the trash can for Adam.
Yeah.
Like that's
Well, why don't they use that in baseball and say throw him the yeeter?
Yeah.
Give him the yeet.
Look at that
Derek
yeeter.
Yeater.
Yeah, Derek
Dude, that guy's Derek Yeater.
Oh, if he was a pitcher, this would work.
Oh, it would, but he had a hell of an arm from shortstop to first. I
Well,
gotta tell you,
what a chow. What a chow we had. If you're listening to this and we missed one of your favorite Gen Z slang words, let us know. And if we got it
How
wrong,
could we have? This is exhausting.
please let us know. Yeah, I think Ben covered all of them, but if we bungled the
But for
definition,
real, if you all wigged on this episode,
let
if this wigged you right, like I know like you're all like challenge is valid, like this shit is valid.
yeah,
These
again,
guys
you're
were-
just using the
these
word in
guys
its
were-
correct usage. It's not slang. You're saying
These guys were
Right.
spilling the tea. They were none of them were sus. And as a stan of these guys, like a real stan, you know, like I'm gonna say soft launch this episode was lit. It was litty like a titty in Atlantic City for sure.
Wind it
Guys,
down.
what did you
Wind
think
it
of that run? What did you think of that run?
Guys, I'll tell you what. This challenge has me roofing.
What do you mean?
It's when you get on your roof and just
and you
stare
start
off.
replacing shingles.
You just stare off. Now you just sit and stare off.
Oh, Adam's spewing again.
Yeah, Adam's at his. What's crazy is Adam,
I'm roofing.
you don't like this, but there is so much shorthand to our podcast. We always create shorthand. Chow, chow, quar, quar.
Yeah, everybody creates
We,
their own language. That's
Riff
right.
City,
That's right.
take them to fucking Riff City. We're always doing it. Casting with the boys means that we should.
And ours
So wait a
sounds
minute.
dope.
The calls have been coming from inside the house the whole
Yeah,
time?
dude. We're
making up our own slang that sounds like you're talking to a baby dog.
yeah.
No wonder no one's listening to this podcast.
Gen Z has been listening. Gen Z has an embassy in Rift City, and you know that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It got set on fire a while ago. That's
It's
right.
the Emba-Z.
Emba-Z. And I stay at this Emba-Z Sweets when my wife is mad at me.
Adam, that was
Cringe.
I do.
It was cringe.
That was cringe.
So let's
I got
ask
rewards
the question
points.
we always ask. Was the challenge good for the world?
Emba-Z.
Does it?
Producer Ron just
Producer Ron just chimed into the chats with Emba-Z with a Z.
Emba-Z.
Emba-Z. Producer Ron, actually, I got to say this real quick, made my favorite new slang where we were talking about some technical issues, and Ron said he had a minty bee for mental breakdown. Minty bee, M-E-N-T-Y,
That's a slang
capital
I'm into.
B,
That's
minty
good.
bee.
I think that sounds like you have a clean asshole.
I have a minty bee.
Maybe he had a mental breakdown from trying to get a clean ass.
No, that's minty bussy.
my bus, you can go down there. I got a menti busty.
Well, guys, we've done it again. Send it off to the Smithsonian. This one's good to print.
Yo,
This has been the Grolic Saves the World.
So that Well, that is the perfect segue, Ben. Does this challenge make the world a better place? And would you do it again? I do think understanding what people are saying makes the world a better place. It leads to less misunderstandings, less like, what the fuck? You just called me a yeet? What the fuck? Like, oh no, it just meant they were throwing something. I think it's good to understand it. Is it good to use it? No, you shouldn't use it if you're old. Just stick to what you know. And this podcast is the cat's pajamas. I'll tell you what.
Hey,
yeah.
all right, okay, I like that.
Even though we should have probably let Adam cook for this entire episode.
Let him cook.
Because
That's a confusing one because let him cook means let him go, but cook him means like roast him. So you got to make sure you're using that cook correctly.
Wow, what a fucking tightrope walk that is.
I actually believe that this is. I actually believe that this is an important challenge, at least for me, because I feel like my parents didn't make an attempt to understand.
Oh, don't try to be all fucking heartfelt now at
just
the end.
saying.
I can't even.
They didn't make an attempt to what? To
can't.
use slang? You wanted your dad to be like, hey,
No, to
cowabunga,
understand,
buddy.
to understand me. And I would rather be like last night, I was talking to Milo and his roommate, and I was telling him about this challenge, and they were dying laughing. And we sat on the phone and we laughed, and they filled me in on all these different ones that are like kind of new now that people are saying. And we laughed about it, and it showed that I'm willing to joke with him and play the game. I'm not, rah, rah, you guys, none of that makes fucking sense. Talk like a pull your pants. I never did any of that shit. I let my kid color his hair. I let him just listen to the music that he wanted to. And like, my son is a good kid at heart, even if he says shit I don't fucking understand. And I don't want to be like a rigid, shitty parent. So I think like this kind of stuff is important. And I'll always try to understand him or be like, what the fuck does that mean? And then riff and joke with him about it to show that I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to come down to his level.
Yeah,
So,
I think that
for
that
me-
is a generational difference. I remember adults making fun of me for saying things like rad and stuff like that. And just acknowledging you don't know it, but being cool with it is like a nice step forward. Even if Adam can't make that step, we can.
Joking is fine. It's when it was to me like adults being like, don't fucking talk like I remember people just being like, don't talk like that. You know what I mean? Or like pull your pants up, like I said, or like your hair looks fucking stupid. So, although my parents didn't necessarily say that, but that's my opinion. Adam, what do you think?
No, I take it for granted that I had parents who, my dad would let me swear with him just by ourselves, not in public, but he would, my parents never sort of censored anything that I said and let me find my own voice and language. And that is very cool of them. I appreciate that. But the buck stops here. I'm not going to pay that forward to my children.
Wow. He dropped a buck stops here.
Much like German, there are just some languages I don't want to know.
Wow, we just lost all of our listeners in Deutschland. We apologize. Wow. Well, your dad sounds like the bong, Adam, frankly, and you don't.
He's the
He sounds like thebong.com for
and it's
sure.
so sad how my dad took that bong into the courthouse that day, and we miss him. And we'll see you when you get out, John.
Oh
Well,
my God.
let's take another break. Let's take a break.
Yeah, let's listen to some live stand-up comedy. But for real, I love you, fam. Thanks for Andrew for bringing that challenge. And let's listen to some live stand-up comedy.
You can take that tang to space.
You know what, Ben? Bussin', no cap.
Take that tang to space.
It did not feel good to say.
Drink it up.
Drink it up is still a good
did
one.
not.
That's a good one. All right, let's listen to some live stand-up comedy since Adam is so thirsty right now.
I'm foothilling.
Yeah. None of that makes
These are
any
the worst
fucking
terms.
So you don't have the energy for a 14er, but you're foothilling.
It's so specific.
Like you don't have the energy to do something, so you're half-assing it. You're foothilling. See, we should do a fourth act where we come up with a bunch of our own.
We should write this slang for the kids today. We should do that. Who gets that job?
Oh, I don't know, Adam. All right, let's live stand-up comedy, live show, the Grawlix, last Saturday of every month. All of you out of town, make a pilgrimage here. Come and see us. Get tickets.
Southwest,
see the show. Take it Southwest.
SW in
Huge
Come to
W.
that'd be a huge W, as Andrew said. Bussin', no cap. So let's listen to some live stand-up comedy from our good friend Lizzie Wolfson. And when we return, third actors, you are up. The best third act in the game. We've got more show. We're going to tease the next episode's challenge. So stay fucking tuned.
It's very hard for me to find good porn out there as a lesbian. Like, lesbian porn is one of the #1 watched categories on most porn websites. And honestly, most of it not very realistic. So what I've been doing is watching a lot of interior design shows. Turns out it'll do the same thing. Yeah, like if you can put up drywall, I'm gonna come. I know that. It's all Fixer Upper, This Old House, Property Brothers, any of them will do at this point. Like, my girlfriend's into it. She used to send me sexy pictures of her in the bathtub. Now it's just pictures of bathtubs. So I do have a girlfriend. We have little dogs at home. Do you guys have dogs? You guys a dog crowd? Denver, you love your dogs. I love my dogs too. And it's very interesting being dog moms to our little dogs, right? Because we have to have different conversations as a lesbian couple than straight couples do. Like, I have to explain to my dogs why I put my harness on backwards, you know? So my dogs are like, how come you put your harness on but you never go for a walk? And we just get locked out of the bedroom. I don't understand. Last week I was opening up for a TikToker, and so it was a very young crowd there, and it was very cool, it was very fun, but all of a sudden I did that joke and somebody in the back just went, "It's not just for lesbians!" And I was like, all right. Relax, Gen Z, we get it. You're cool. We can all wear harnesses and strap-ons together.
Third actors, the moment has arrived. You have tuned in. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for being here in the third act. We had a blast before you listened, but who gives a shit? What matters is that you're here now, and it's nice to see you here.
For real. Who do we have to thank? I think, honestly,
so many people.
We should just let's thank Black people and queer people for
coast to coast. Thank you for creating the cool language that we use and
abuse. We appreciate that so much.
Yeah, thank you for all you do to contribute to pop culture. And, arguably, culture is the greatest export of the United States of America. It's the thing we do. So, and it's largely driven by you. So thank you so much. And also, I want to thank my son, Milo. Milo, you really helped me understand. You're all Riz, bro. I'm super stoked on it, fam.
Riz King.
Bet. One love. That's on God.
Hell yeah.
I'll thank my niece as well. Thank you for being on the pod. Appreciate it.
I'll thank my kiddo as well. Thank you for the entertaining lesson in slang.
Andrew, sing that little song you sing.
Give us that ditty.
This is a bop, dude.
Oh,
this is a bop.
It's a bop for real.
Plugs. Who's
got them? Adam, you got plugs?
I'll start her up. I am going to be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin this weekend. I love the Laughing Tap. It is a great club. 1 show Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Come on out, guys. If you're in the Chicago area, why don't you drive up to Milwaukee and fucking party in that city for a minute with me?
Yes.
It'd be a great time.
That's an insane ask. It's not.
It's not an insane ask. Drive from Chicago to Milwaukee.
Adam, would you get me a brewer shirt if I'll pay you. I'll Venmo you if you get me a nice brew crew
I'll get
shirt.
you one for free out of the goodness of my heart. Andrew, if you want one, it costs money. Ben, you got anything coming up?
I don't like when he whines like that.
That's how you whine.
I will be headlining the Comedy Fort on November 24th and 25th. That is in Fort Collins, Colorado. You all know it. You all love it. Listeners, please come and see me. I'll be doing 2 shows on Friday and 2 shows on Saturday. Let's fill this puppy up, Fort Collins.
If you're listening to this and those dates sound familiar, you guessed it. That's the Saturday of our November Grolics right here in Denver.
Yeah, but that's in Denver.
That's our, yes.
Is that in Denver?
Yeah, that's in Denver. We have our annual Home for the Holidays Grolics. Denver has such an amazing stand-up scene, and a lot of those stand-ups, they go into other cities to do great things. But you know what? We reel them back in. Come Thanksgiving, they're back in town. We love to stuff the show full of great comics. We've got Trey Walker, Jordan Dahl, Elon Stribling. It's going to be a rad show. Tickets are already sizzling away. So if you want some, the link is in the show notes.
Love it if you guys would review the podcast. People are chiming in with new reviews. We always appreciate that. And rating and subscribing certainly helps. But you know what helps the most? You do. It's your money. And if we don't get your money, we get pretty despondent.
Yeah.
And we kind of go to a dark place.
Yeah.
So don't make us go to that place. Go to patreon.com/Grolic-Saves and support us on that level. We've got Act 4s for $4. We've got all the back episodes of Boy Crazy, including a new one coming out on professional wrestlers, barreling down the pipe. If you can't join Patreon now, you can still support us by telling a friend about the podcast. But really, it's the money that matters.
Okay, Adam, that's great. Thank you so much for that scripted extortion. Now, as always, the credits. We got to say thank you to Thirsty Simp Ron Doyle for making this happen, and he is thirsty.
We stand a short king. Thank you, Ron.
Thanks to Mike Anderson for your help recording at the live show.
Yo, Mike Anderson, touch grass, dog.
Yeah, for real.
Shots fired at poor Mike.
For real. Get that guy out, y'all, for real. And as always, our theme music is that bop you love at the beginning. That's always brought to you by the Fire Charlie Continental. He is straight fire. That guy is litty like a titty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you already said that rhyme.
I know. I'm trying to get it because it's not a real one.
Get him out in this episode because you can't be taking that to other to out into your life or to other episodes. This is the one.
This is the one for me to really. You mean I have to eat all of the litty like a titty in this episode? I can't bring leftovers.
Get full.
Oh, homie is full. He is full. What a dumb challenge.
He's buffing. He's buffing. He's at the buffet.
Yeah.
He's buffing.
I'm
buffing no cap.
bro.
That's where you can come back as many times as you want to eat.
No cap.
Just heading back to that Furs cafeteria for those saran wrap slices of
for
pie.
real.
Buffing
I'm dead, y'all. I'm dead. Hey, what are we going to do for the next episode's challenge?
Ben, truly, who gives a shit? Play us out, Charlie.